Hey guys, I have a TCG player affiliate link now, so if you guys ever want cards, sleeves, packs, or anything of that nature, use my affiliate link to support the channel down in the description.
Hey, what's up guys? It's MetaGamesGX here, and we are going to be doing an updated deck profile for Branded Despia Post Banlist. However, this is going to be our budget build, so this build is going to really cost no more than really $150, which is kind of, I guess, expensive if you consider that, but if you want to go to win a tournament, this is the build that you can do with Branded Despia. That's quite actually cheap. You can use a lot of staples you might already have exactly, and alternative cards. They'll give suggestions too, so you know, I really do think that this is going to be one of the best builds you can go into going forward. There's a lot of hand traps in it, there's a lot of innovations, so I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Post Banlist Branded Despia budget deck profile that you recently actually saw on stream that I did quite well with, just losing one game to really just bricking. So we will get right into it. Use my TCG player affiliate link down below for all your TCG player purchases like cards, packs, and sleeves, other things like that. Bookmark it. So if you want to support the channel with a free of charge way, this is going to be the best way to do that. So definitely check that out, and then follow me on Twitter, and then check out my Discord down below if you want to join the community, and leave a comment and a like what you thought about this video, and then also make sure that you're subscribed because we're on the road to 3,000. So let's hop right into it. This is going to be a 51 card build. Yes, it's a little bit of a chunky one. That's okay though. So we are going to go over the main deck first and why we did some choices and how things work and what really the game plan is for this. And if you guys want some combos for Branded Despia, look at some links down below. I do a series on how to play Branded Despia, so definitely check that out if you are interested. So we're going with 3 Fallen of Albaz, the boy himself, 3 Aluber, and Aluber of course is the searcher of the deck, obviously, and then 2 Cartesia, 1 Quem, and 1 Kit. So let's get these guys in order. So this is a really standard ratio for me at this point. Spriggan's Kit we're running because we are running Allure of Darkness, so we want to max out on the darks there. And then 2 Quem, 1 Cartesia. Even at 50 cards, I think that's pretty good. It's just that, oh my god. Alright, so starting off, we're going to have 3 Aluber and 3 Albaz. Really standard. They are like the core of the deck. Not much to state there. And then here comes a little controversy. 2 Cartesia. And then 1 Adlib. And now this Adlib can be a Quem. We'll talk about that. And go to Spriggan's Kit. So this is a completely budget build. However, if you would like to make it a little bit better, if you have the card already, I recommend getting Quem. They are quite expensive, but if you cannot get one, that is okay because you have Adlib, which basically does a lot of the same things that Quem does. However, it's not on legs like Quem. It's not It's not really just like that constant onboard presence that Quem is, and that's why Quem is better. But Adlib does have its benefits in the stack because you are running Allure. It does have Dark. And then also it does the same thing as Quem, looping the Mirror Jade. And then 2 Cartesia and 1 Kit because we do have the Allure Darkness. So we want to max out on them Darks, obviously. And then, yeah. So that's why we did these choices right here. We're at 51 cards, and I didn't feel like we needed to go over on the Quem and Cartesias, obviously, or Adlibs. I feel like that's a pretty good ratio, even at 51, because we are running the Allure Darknesses. So then 1 Albion, 1 Tragedy, 1 Mercurier, extremely standard for Branded Despia. These guys, you banish them just so you can get searches, and then also Albion is really nice just as your draw engine and recurrence. It's also Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard, so always remember that. Very useful for that. 1 Maximus, 1 Lubellion, and 1 Sarnier. So Maximus, we are running the Nadir package. I just think the Nadir package is way too much. It's just way too much plus for this deck not to run, in my opinion. So we are running it. And then the Lubellion and Sarnier, we could be on Magma, but this is Post Banlist, guys, and I don't think Tearlaments is going to be around too much, and same with Unchained. Those decks kind of got kneecapped. We'll see what happens, but like for that reason, I don't think we should be maining the Magma, and the Maximus is just insane because you get to do like one-card gimmick locks with Nadir Servant and stuff like that, so very much worth it in my opinion. Lubellion is nice to pitch to get Branded Lost up and going. One Dark Magician, one Gimmick Puppet for the rest of the monsters. Besides the hand traps, obviously, we have one Dark Magician, so we can hard make the Dragoon and play under D-Shifter, which is one of your plays, how to play under D-Shifter with Branded. You basically go Lubellion, Dragoon, under Lost, Search McCourier, and then you get the Dragoon plus Mercourier, which is actually still a lot. A lot of decks can't even deal with that. Then you can maybe even have other things that you can do, you know, so. And then the Gimmick Puppet, because it's the best going first strategy for Branded, so that's why we run it. Unfortunately, it's a toxic card, however, it's the best going first option. Otherwise, you're looping Mirror Jade 2 or 3 times, and that can actually very much lose to certain hand traps. Where this just loses to a Crow, but like no one's on main deck Crow, especially this format. Bell might be an issue, however, but that's why we have other things to deal with that. And then for the hand traps, we go with 3 Ash Blossom and then 3 Imperm because they're the best hand traps in the game right now. Genuinely, when you see these cards, it's almost a turn skip. Like, sometimes they can play through it, but now post-Banlist, I think these cards are very much going to kneecap the decks. Like, Rescue Ace and obviously on a Fire King field spell, these are pretty good, or just, you know, the Imperm on just various other, like on a Baron is quite good, or an SP or something like that. Versus different decks, and then Ashe is just a turn skip. It's really good. It's gonna be good against Branded, Rescue Ace, all the decks. I think that's why they're quite good. And I wouldn't run the other hand traps. I was like debating, we could run Droll and Nib. I thought the last format was a lot more wide open. However, this new format's gonna be a bit more closed off. I think there's gonna be a lot more clear-cut, defined best decks. And a lot of those decks don't lose to Nib or Droll, such as Fire Kings or Labyrinth. Fire Kings can lose to Droll, but they don't lose to Nib, and same with the Labyrinth. So I think you're going to want to be looking at Imperm and Ashe, but then also maybe even Board Breakers, so that's why we are on 3 Super Poly, because 3 Super Poly is going to be one of the best things that you want going into this format, with Fire Kings and Labyrinth and Rescue Ace being the best decks, plus Branded. This card cleans up literally every one of their boards. Make a Stapeli on Branded, make Mud Dragon on basically any board the Fire Kings make, and then you can dodge Imperm. So I was just like making a lot of deliberations with this deck if we were going to run more hand traps, and we ended up taking out the Droll and Nibs and put in 3 Super Poly, so that's what I thought would be the best for this format. So I hope you guys also agree on that, but I think that this is just logical with what the best decks are. This blows out Labyrinth, it blows out Fire Kings, it blows out Rescue Ace, blows out Branded, so it's like it blows out also Vanadium most of the time. So you might have to start siding other things for Vanadium, like such as Draco Quest or the Guilty Gear Freed, but that's something that we will revisit as the format develops. Then we're going to get into the 9 standard branded spell and traps that you guys know and love. Retribution, Lost, Red, 3 opening and 3 fusion. This card's the best 1-card combo in the game. Opening is super good for consistency. Lost, you basically win the game if you resolve Lost and Branded Fusion, and then Brandon and Red is really nice to make Guardian Chimera and just like play through grind games. Same with Retribution. Retribution also has a really nice negate effect that you guys should use all the time as you can, because then it's a thing in the graveyard that you can use to recur, but it's also negate. It's an Omni negate on a monster special summon, so quite good, quite good. And then 3 Nadir Servants. So yeah, I'm still on Nadir Servant, guys. I think Nadir is way too good not to play in this deck, because Maximus just Omega Pluses you. Now, there might be things in this deck where you can't get a 1-card gimmick lock, because to get the 1-card gimmick lock, you need to go to see an Albaz, basically. All you need to do is do this, send Garura, do your Lulu Albion play at the end of the turn, but you also need to see an Albaz in graveyard hand or whatever, basically field. So the Garura draw might get it, you might already have it in your opening hand. If not, it's like you just set up Mirror Jade QUEM basically, which is not bad, especially if you have like Chimera or anything else. So I think Nadir is still the play. It's just, especially in a 51 card build, you just want to be able to see one of your power spikes. This is a power spike. It helps you play through ASHE as well. So I think it's very good and well warranted in the deck. And then 3 fusion deployment because it's very good. Breaks boards or it gets into your boards. And then we will go for the other standard stuff before we get to the new stuff. Gold Sark, Foolish Burial, and Called By, just the God cards basically. These 2 for consistency, and then Called By, just if you see it, you win the game. Fusion deployment's very good for breaking boards, obviously. This varies, no explanation on these cards really. So yeah, we are on Crossout plus Allure for just our ways to get around ASHE and then also power through our engine. I think Crossout's pretty good because I don't like losing to Imperm, and this is a pretty good way to get around that. And then Allure is also a way to power through your engine on top of just like seeing a bunch of hand traps, and then all you need to do is see a dark and then you can just see your engine and you're completely fine. So I think that works out for that reason. They're very cheap cards for that. Also, they're cheaper than Thrust, and I actually think they might be better than Thrust because we run Droll and Nib in the side deck so that these Crossout Designator has really good synergy. We also have the D barrier because we lose to D barrier, and Labyrinth is going to be very good. So I think Crossout might actually be a necessity in Branded this format with how good Labyrinth is going to be. So yeah, I really do like these cards. I think Crossout's actually quite good right now. Just with the plethora of hand traps that we're going to be seeing, like we're going to be seeing a lot of Droll and Perm ASHE, I think. So I think the card's quite good. Would I be running this or Thrust if I had the chance? I don't know, honestly, for this format. I'd say last format, I'd say Thrust, but honestly, it might just be the play for us to just go Omega hand traps, and because our engine just outpowers most engines, so if we just run the hand traps, we're good. So that is definitely a consideration, and that is it for the main deck, 51 cards. We'll get into the extra deck, which I do have some considerations I want to talk about. 1 Mirror Jade, 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, 1 Sanctifier, 1 Albion, 1 Titanic-clad. So yeah, these are the Albaz guys. I was thinking about running Brigand and Bucephalus for the 1-card gimmick lock, which is something you guys could run also. These are quite cheap cards, and if you're afraid of just bricking and seeing the Nadir and wanting the 1-card gimmick lock, these could go in, but I think these are what you need, honestly. Sanctifier for the gimmick lock, 2 Albions is what you need, obviously, and then 1 Mirror Jade is honestly all you need, in my opinion. It does suck when they banish this. Most of the time, you're able to just protect this thing and just loop it, even if it goes to the graveyard through QUEM or Adlib, so it's very good. And then Sanctifier, like I said, for gimmick lock plays, and Rinbrum is very good against basically any deck that goes into an extra deck monster, and then also it sets up super poly Titan-clad plays most of the time. In Lubellion, you really only need 1, in my opinion, nowadays. You never really go into 2. You can also just recycle it. That's an important thing of being a good Branded player, is just maintaining your fusion resources and not going whole hog. 1 Lulu, 1 Grand Guignol, my 2 Starlights. Gotta get the Mirror Jade. I would love to run 2 Grand Guignol, but I just don't have the space in this build. So shout out to my next build. Probably we'll see 2 Grand Guignol, but we'll see. And then 1 Lulu. It's pretty good. It's just there for the Nadir Servant, basically. I don't know. It's kind of whatever. But, I mean, it sets up your gimmick lock, so or you're on board with Nadir, so it's pretty good. 1 Quertus, just because it's really good to go into out of Grand Guignol, and a lot of decks don't know what to deal with this card, and just you're able to loop it through QUEM and stuff like that. Very important. I'll have to talk about the importance of Quertus in my How Play Branded series. Guardian Chimera, Guardian Chimera is very good because you basically go into him with Brand Red, obviously. Very important, honestly. Would never cut it. And then Mud Dragon, you use it to break boards or whatever. And then also in this build, you can draw hand traps. So that's why I think Chimera is very important in this build, because you can draw into hand traps on your opponent's turn. Mud Dragon, Preplant, Garura, and then Dragoon. Dragoon is very good because you can just make a board that you can go Nadir Servant. If you draw Brand Fusion plus Nadir save, you can just make the Dragoon, then go Nadir serve it, and then just go full combo, and you have the Dragoon on top of it. Very good. Elsewise, it's just good for breaking certain boards, and it's just a good negate. It's a good Omni negate. Guru Mud Dragon for the Super Poly, obviously. They're just going to be incredible this format, breaking any board. So it was already great last, like, 5 formats, but, like, it's going to be good this format. Congrats, guys. And then Stapelia, because Stapelia, you will literally win games off this guy, and you will lose games off not having him. You just need to have him. When it comes up, because you will get into grind games where Stapelia, you basically are under, like, a Mirror Jade and a Stapelia, and that's enough to, like, seal the deal in a simplified board state. Very good in a simplified board state. So that was the extra deck. Let's get into the side deck right now. We are going to get into the board breakers. 2 evenly matched. Or sorry, this should be 3 evenly matched. I know, 2 Dark Ruler, a Snatch Steel, and 2 Pankratops. So this is Post Banlist, and this is my board breaking package. I would like to be on 3 Dark Ruler. It's just kind of hard to fit it right now, so you might see me like change it around. But I want to talk about my choices here. So the Dark Rulers and Evenlies kind of go together more, because these guys basically break any board together, and then you have the alerts to draw into them. So it's very easy to break just any board with them, and it's very good for Rogue. It's not so much good against Labyrinth or Fire Kings, but it just covers your other matchups extremely good. So I'm just fielding them right now. I think Evenly might be just better than Lightning Storm right now. So I also don't want to run Cosmic. So like and then I also have the 2 Pankratops, 4 back row and stuff like that, and Floodgates. And it's also a 2-for-1. Like, it's an incredible card. Snatch Shield, so I can go for game with people's cards. And there's also a Noir out, because read the ruling, it basically gets it outs Noir. You take the Noir unless they spin the Snatch Deal. So yeah, it's very good for that reason. Also, Dark Ruler, like I said, pretty good just against a lot of Vanadium. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good package. If anything, I would up the Dark Ruler to 3. And then also Snatch Steal, you could just do the common, obviously, like get one for $5, and it's not that expensive. So, and then 3 Droll, and you probably just have one around already if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Speaking of Vanadium, though, 3 Droll, 3 Nibiru. I don't want to main these guys. I do want to main them, but like I just don't want to have them in hand and like against Centurion, which is going to be very good this format. I think you're going to see a lot of Centurion. You're going to see a lot of Labyrinth. So, and also Arvada just like says no to Nibiru. So I think it's just not worth it to main Nibiru right now. I think it's good on the side, obviously. Droll for the same reason, but I think Droll is going to be actually pretty good. You could probably see me maining it maybe one day. But I think it's actually going to be very good this format. So you might see me main this. This might be a consideration to main, especially since I am on a lure build. So this is the only thing I could see myself maybe changing around, is putting like Super Poly in, or into the side, and then Droll into the main. But that's just a consideration that you guys could also play with. I wanted to let you guys know with. Oh, and then also obviously 1D barrier, because we're playing cross out. So wait, do we play the D barrier? Yeah, we play the D barrier. So 1D barrier because we're playing the cross out. So Labyrinth is going to be very good this format, and they can loop this card extremely easily. So like you're going to need the cross out, I think, no matter what, even if you like Thrust, because it's the only card that gets around this card, and they're going to be able to touch it with ease, especially with like transaction rollback shenanigans and just area shit. So like just be caution about that, and be wary about that. So if you guys like the deck profile, please leave a like down below and leave a comment what you guys thought of the deck profile, what you guys are going to run with Branded. Did you guys finally like my budget Branded build? Remember, you don't need to run the Snatch Shield. You don't need to run the QUEM. You can just run an ad-lib over the QUEM, and then just run like a Mind Control over the, or Change of Heart over the Snatch Steal. I just think that with a lower power format, that cards like Snatch Steal is going to go really hard, like even though it's unsearchable. So especially just its ability to out Noir, and then just like you could take a Mirror Jade or something. It's just going to be really good. So you can see me even maining like maybe another Change of Heart or something, but that's something to consider. So please leave a like, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 3K. check out my affiliate link for TCG Player down below. Bookmark it, use it for all your TCG Player purchases because I get a little kickback. And then that if you want a free way to support the channel at no extra charge to you, I really would appreciate it. Definitely one of the best ways to support the channel if you enjoy branded content already. Also check out episode 1 of How to Play Branded. We talk about matchups and tips and tricks on how to like side and like beat just basically the top decks, including Fire Kings and Labyrinth. And check out our upcoming deck profiles. We have a bunch of first place Branded Chimera, Fire King, and my past Branded Despia Deck profiles, including combo videos. So all of those will be in the description. We live stream every Monday at 7 p.m. EST, and then also every Tuesday and every Saturday, and then sometimes every Wednesday. So yeah, see you guys later. Have a good day.